Shalom everyone, I'm going to continue the series of the Daf Yomi. Today we are on Masechet Nazir, page number 14. That is naturally Daf Yud in Hebrew, and it's very fascinating. We're going to see two different cases, unique cases of Nazirut in today's Daf. They are the following. It's going to be the Nazir Shimshon, and someone that is going to say that I will be like Moshe on the 7th day of Adar, which is another form, another type of Nazirut that is going to be taking place in today's page of the Gemara. So what is this phrase, Nazirut Shimshon? We all know that Shimshon HaGibor, Samson. Naturally, we translate him in English. There's a phrase called the Nazirut Shimshon, and it involves a person who specifically would state that he wants to accept upon himself this type of Nazirut. So it's unlike someone who accepts a standard Nazirut, because a Nazir Shimshon is different. It is a Nazir Shimshon is allowed to come into contact with the dead, as opposed to a regular Nazirut, as we state, it is not naturally allowed to come into contact with a corpse, whatever it might be. Unlike someone who accepts Nazirut for his entire life, a Nazir Shimshon can never cut his hair. Hence we see from the story of Samson and Delilah, where Shimshon and Delilah, with regards to he never cut his hair at that stage in time, and it was related over. The sages had the tradition that Nazirut Shimshon was also unique in that the person who comes to regret having accepted this Nazirut, he cannot actually be released from his obligation by the sages. There's no petach, unlike other forms of Nazirut. If he takes upon this status of Nazirut Shimshon, he's bound by it, even without there being a petach at any stage. Rashi actually suggests inside the Talmud that the source for this is the fact that Shimshon, Hagibor himself, did not choose to be a Nazir. Rather, the condition was imposed on him by the heavenly angel, was related over very much. We see inside the book of the Nevi'im, of the book of Judges, naturally, that Shimshon could not escape this, his fate, for the good or the bad, or whatever it might have been, of being a Nazir, and neither can someone who bases his own Nazirut on the model of Shimshon, or on that specific model, that's framework of Shimshon HaGibor. However, as I said at the beginning, there's also another unique case of Moshe, to be like Moshe on the 7th of Adar. So naturally we know, I believe that was the date of his passing and the date of his birth, if I'm not mistaken. So it's actually, according to the commentators, it's not clear whether the person who says, I will be like Moshe on the 7th of Adar, has in fact accepted Nazirut. It doesn't necessarily qualify as a confirmation, a stamp approval, that the person's going to become a Nazir. Why is this? There's different suggestions. One thing is that we can possibly assume that on the day of Moshe Rabbeinu's, therefore Moses' passing, many of his followers in the Midbar, inside the desert, accepted upon themselves a Nazirut as a symbol of mourning, of Avelut, at that point in time, after he passed away, because he was a great leader, the Manhig of Am Yisrael. And many of the laws of Nazirut, for example, not cutting the hair, naturally we see, or not drinking wine, all those things, they actually, it is very much a reflection of the dinim, the laws of Avelut. Or could also be pointed on the other hand, perhaps the statement is a reference to the day that Moshe was born also, not necessarily to the day he was passed away. It could have been on the day of his birth. Why? Which was a certainty, a day of celebration, or at any rate was not a day that he accepted upon himself for the Nazirut or other prohibitions. So it could have been a commemoration of his passing because of the Avelut sense of it, but it could be the day where he was actually born. Another way that Rashi suggests with regards to this is that the person may be viewed as saying that just as Moshe did not drink on the day of his death, wine, naturally drinking wine we're talking about over there, he didn't drink any wine or grape products at that stage in time. Similarly, the person is accepting upon himself the status of the Nazirut. So by saying that, could quantify that he's taking Nazirut on himself, because since Moshe Rabbeinu didn't drink wine, alcoholic wine, naturally he's actually saying that it's as if like he's separating himself from that by just using that phrase. So they go back and forth within regards to these dinim, but it's very interesting Talmud today here in Masechet Nazir, page number 14. Guys, have an awesome day. Bye.